Okay, so we're going to have a look at cell division. We're going to answer the questions. What are the two types of division? What are they used for in the body? So there's two types of cell division. There's mitosis and there's meiosis. But before we do that, just a little bit of groundwork in terms of why this is important. And we'll look at the structure of the cell and where the instructions really for this division are. And this actually links to another topic where you look at DNA and inheritance in more detail. So what we've got here, we've got a typical cell. You can see the cell membrane, cytoplasm, and in the centre there we've got the nucleus. Now the nucleus is where the structures called chromosomes are housed. Okay, these long strand-like structures, sometimes seen as single strands, sometimes seen as double strands, a little bit like letter X's or bow ties. Now on the chromosomes you've got these bands of information. These are called genes. Okay, all along this, so thousands and thousands of genes controlling all the various different features in your body, such as your hair colour and your eye colour. Now the genes are made up of the molecule called DNA, okay, deoxyribonucleic acid. And it's got this double helix appearance here, okay, a little bit like a spiral staircase. So for this unit you don't really need to know too much detail about DNA and where it's found. I just thought I'd give you that as a quick intro because it links to a future topic you're going to study. But also it'll hopefully make a bit more sense when I start talking about the number of chromosomes within these two types of cell division. Okay, so we've got our cell, we've got our nucleus. Inside the nucleus we've got all of these chromosomes all tightly packed. That's why the nucleus looks so dark and dense, easily visible. On the chromosomes we've got these sections called genes, which are made of DNA. Okay, so let's move on. So mitosis is normal cell division, and you tend to find this in, say, the skin cells. You know, your body's covered in thousands and thousands and thousands of skin cells, all getting replaced constantly. But every time you scratch your hand, you might release several hundred cells, and that layer will get replaced and repaired. You know, you cut yourself, your skin heals. That's mitosis as well. So this is normal cell division. Now this little diagram here shows how it actually forms. So let's imagine we've got this little skin cell here. That skin cell, a normal body cell, contains 46 chromosomes. So what actually happens behind the scenes is almost like a preparation stage, is the DNA replicates, which means it basically doubles. Okay, so it's preparing for this division, so that both cells have sufficient information. So you can see this 46 becomes 92, so it's obviously double. So 46 times 2 is 92. Now what happens is this is then we get the division stage. So this one cell then becomes two cells which contain 46 chromosomes, just like the original cell. So you can see how quickly the skin can replace itself and repair very, very quickly. So to summarise mitosis, two daughter cells are produced. The cells produced here at the bottom of this diagram are called daughter cells. They're genetically identical because they've got the same DNA as the original cell. They're just copies. So they're genetically identical. There's low variation because they're all the same. Okay, you might get a bit of mutation here and then, but generally they're pretty much the same, so low variation. They're called what we call diploid, so this is a new term for you here. So just think of this D as in double. Okay, we've got two cells. That's double. So we've got the full complement of information here, which is the 46 chromosomes, and we call it 2N. Okay, N is half, and we've got 2N, so we've got the full set. It's used to produce skin cells, repairs any damage to the skin, so maybe a cut, and is also used in growth. Now a little word of caution for you here. In a lot of exam questions and exam papers, they don't tend to show this 92 stage. It's kind of like behind the scenes. The exam just assumes you know that. So sometimes you'll get a diagram where you might not have this here, you might just have this original cell and then these two cells with the 46 written on. So what a lot of students do is they think, right, 46 divided by the 2, so they write 23 here and here, which is wrong because they're identical cells in mitosis, okay? So just be careful of that one. The other type of cell division is called meiosis, and this is the formation of sex cells. We call these gametes in science because we like complicated, fancy words. And obviously an example of gametes are sperm in men and eggs in women. Now it's very similar, looks very similar, but there's an extra layer. Okay, there's an extra stage to this diagram. So if we took out this bottom stage here, this effectively is mitosis. So just think of it almost like mitosis twice. Okay, and the main aim of meiosis is to make new cells that only have half of the information. So when we've got the sperm cell, we've got 23 chromosomes, and we've got the egg cell with 23 chromosomes. And when they combine during fertilization, that completes the set to the 46 we need. Okay? So we start off the same as we do in mitosis with the cell at the top here with the 46. Behind the scenes, we've got the replication of the DNA. So that then goes to 92, and then we get this first division which produces 2 new cells which have the 46 chromosomes. And then what happens is we've got a second division which causes us to produce 4 new cells, and those 4 new cells now have 23 chromosomes. So in summary, we've got 4 daughter cells produced in meiosis. They're genetically different now, okay, because we've actually split the information in half. So there's a little bit of variation. So each sperm cell and egg cell will be slightly different, and that's what leads to variation and differences in children, even if, say, you've got the same parents. So there's high variation. They're called haploid because they've got half the information. So think of the HA, the H is half because they have 23 chromosomes, and we call this just N. And its function is to produce the gametes, the sex cells. Okay, so typical exam questions on this type of topic, you might get the diagrams where you have to add the numbers in. That's a common question I've seen in, say, a foundation question. And maybe a little bit more higher tierish is where you're doing a written essay comparing the two types, or maybe some form of table format. Okay, so that's a quick look at mitosis and meiosis.